First of all, Chrono Beard. I did this on March 30th for my guests who were complaining that they didn't look good, and honestly, I feel bad. So I decided if they don't look good, I don't look good, so that's why it looks like this. So now on to the important stuff. Hey everybody, I'm back. It's Patrick, and we're here ready for the most important step to me, honestly, when testing a color. And that's getting ready. That's getting set up and making sure that everything is set to make sure that you get the proper results that you want. Because if you don't have things set up for apples to apples, if you don't have things set up that are going to be clinically almost correct, it's not going to go well. So first thing you want to do is you want to get everything set up. I made my swatches. What I've done is I've taken some duct tape, some white duct tape, and I have wrapped it around the swatches. Because the first thing I want to do is I want to label the swatches so I know what swatches are going to go with what color. So what I've done is I've got 3 different Sharpie marker colors. I'll use black for TG. I will use kind of like this fuchsia-ish color for kin. And what I'll do is I'll come on over here. I'll take a color. So the next color we're going to do is going to be a 6-0. So because it's going to be a 6-0, I'm just going to write 6. Yeah? Put a little line underneath it. You know, I know which is the right side and which is the wrong side. But I'm just going to write a 6. Because the less information I have, the less I have to worry about smearing or anything going wrong. If it was a 6-1, I would have written a 6-1. I don't have to write the company because I know the color of the Sharpie marker. So I will do the same thing for that on the HairColor swatch, which is going to give me more of that result of non-pigmented hair. But now, because we're using the same hair for all the color companies, HairColor and one from a guest, we're going to get great apples to apples results. Next thing we want to do is we want to make up some bowls. You know, if you want to wash 80 bowls because you're dyeing out 80 colors, go for it. What I find for me is easier is to make bowls out of aluminum foil. So what I do is I take a piece of aluminum foil, I put it in my hand, I go like this, and then I put it on the table. And by putting it on the table, I can make sure that the bottom is flat, which is honestly the most important part, because when I put this on the scale, I want it to stay there, and I want it to stay flat. But because I'm using scales to mix our color, I can now make sure that I put the equal parts of color and developer, if that's what it's supposed to be, in the foil, mix that up in the foil, and then I can add my hair to it, and then I can even spread the foil open because now I have the color going into the hair while I'm using my brush. So that's going to allow me to get good processing and mixing on top of having it properly labeled. So let's talk about the mixing and what we're going to use. Unless the company recommends something other than 20 volume for gray coverage, all of the colors are going to be tested with 20 volume for their standard processing time. There's going to be no variation from manufacturer's directions in the test. The only variation is going to be everything else that we can control, which is giving us the apples to apples. In the case of kin, they use 24 volume, and they have their own dedicated developer for that, for some of them, and they have 20 volume for others. So if it calls for 20 volume, I'm going to use 20 volume. If it calls for 24 volume, I will use the 24 volume. So again, 100% by manufacturer's directions, timing is by manufacturer's directions. So how do we get timing for all this? That's easy. We're going to use our phone. So what we're going to do is I actually have an app on my phone which is a multi-timer, and it allows me to set up different processing times. So for instance, let's stop this one, so reset that. That gives me a stopwatch. I have a couple 30-minute timers. I even have a 35-minute timer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a timer for each one of our companies for its standard time. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply and mix the first bowl. I'm going to hit start on my timer. So that timer is counting down. Then, when I mix up my next color and create my next bowl, which would have already been done, and mix it together, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see when I started the countdown, I will have started a stopwatch that is counting up. So at 35 minutes for instance, I have one counting from 35 minutes down and one starting at 0 and counting up. When I get done mixing my second color, I will then look at the stopwatch. If it says 30 seconds, I will add on my foil plus 30. Then this way, when I get done, all the colors will be rinsed at their proper time. Because if it was plus 2 minutes and 10 seconds, once the timer goes off for the 35 minutes, I will stop that, stop the stopwatch, restart the stopwatch, rinse the first one. 30 seconds later, I'll rinse the second one. If the third one took me a minute to get there, a minute, I will rinse the third one. If my dog went to the bathroom in the house, a child came in, or the house went on fire, and the next one didn't get done until 10 minutes later, I'll rinse that at 10 minutes. This system, by having one clock counting down and one clock counting up, allows you to make sure that the timings for all of your colors are all going to be to the proper timing, whether it's 35 minutes, 30 minutes, 25, or whatever it is. So I'm using two stopwatches. One stopwatch going up and one that is counting down. Next thing is I have a ton of brushes because I'm going to need a new brush for each color, which means I'm going to have a ton of dirty brushes. So here's a hot tip. This is a box that came to me in the mail. I've already put one bag in it. What I do is I take these garbage bags from grocery stores, take the tabs, put them up. Take one end of the garbage bag, rip that open a little bit, place that around one of the tabs. Take the second tab, put that up, place the second opening around that, and now push both of them down. And what this does is it creates a nice big waterproof receptacle, because now, as I use brushes and mix color, I can keep throwing them in, dirty, and just keep working, and I'm not having to place them gently. They can just go in the box, and when I get done, I take those bags out and rinse them in the sink. So this allows me to make sure that I'm going to get apples to apples, and make sure I'm going to get the right timing with the right developer, and to make sure that I'm going to get the right results to get ready next time and start coloring some hair. So it's Patrick McIvor, Corona Beard, for my guests. Did this March 30th. If they don't look good, I don't look good. And I'm looking forward to taking care of their hair again and some exciting, fun new colors to inspire them and inspire me. Thank you, and I look forward to our next segment. We're actually mixing the colors and testing it. Hope you're enjoying your time and making good use of it. Have a great day. Bye.